let's get into it. This is the first thing. In fact, this wasn't something I wanted to talk about, and I haven't got the resource up, so I'm just going to rant about it. But did you see the one of the many latest cringes from Elon Musk, which is one of his things he sells himself as well as being super rich and being super futuristic and saving the world and being a genius and being a political mastermind, all of those things that he claims he is. Another thing he claims he is a gamer. And he seems to think that, or he is telling everyone that he's like one of the best computer game players in the world. I don't know much about the latest game that he's claimed to be good at. I've seen a video breaking it down for idiots, basically what has happened. But there's some game and it has like some global leaderboard. And Elon Musk was like in the top 10 on this global leaderboard. And it's like on super hardcore mode and only the best like most skilled people who spend thousands of hours on this game are in this leaderboard, and somehow he's there. And I guess that got called into question, or he just wanted to show it off or something. And so he did like a live stream of him playing this game. And it just became very clear to anyone who has ever played this game at all that Elon had no fucking idea what he was doing. He was like, so I haven't played this game. I don't know what I'm doing either, but just reporting what multiple other people have been saying. He was like clicking on areas of the map to try and travel there when you can't. And he was like doing easy mode things and saying they were really hard. There was a super embarrassing little quote where he's like, oh, I don't know if this is really hard what I'm doing right now. Like, if there's a harder way to play this game, then I don't know about it. Like, oh, it was just so embarrassing. But everyone who's ever played that game realized that he just has possibly never even played. Yeah, like someone in the comments here saying, like it's like he'd never played any game like that at all. So it's not just like he hasn't played that specific game. It's like he has never played, like, you know, if he's claiming to be good at shooting games, it's like he had never played a shooting game before, which is just incredible. But I think there was this quote that I saw a while ago of like, I used to think Elon Musk was a genius until he started talking about something I knew about. Then I realized he was an idiot. And I think that was kind of my experience. I definitely bought into the Elon Musk hype like 15 years ago or something, when he was first talking about going to Mars. And just before that I thought, oh, he's one of these like Steve Wozniak, Bill Gates types who's really, you know, really good at maths and stuff and built a big company, and now he's doing something else. And he seemed pretty cool because he was like talking about saving the world and going to other planets and investing in green technology. And then he was talking about going to Mars, and I mean that kind of set off my red flags a little bit, because he was like, oh yeah, we'll be on Mars in 4 years. I was like, I don't know much about space travel, but that didn't seem reasonable to me, and obviously it wasn't reasonable at all. But then when he started talking about software, like he did this thing, and this might not mean much to people who don't do software, but he got all of his employees to print off their code, like on paper, so that he could review it, which is truly the most insane thing ever. Like it just, if you feel like that's maybe not so bad, that is literally like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in the context of engineering ever. It's just such a giveaway that he has absolutely no fucking idea what he's doing, and he's never coded before in his life. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he had genuinely never coded in his life from just that single action. And it's the same with people who know about cars. Like they thought maybe he was a genius until he started designing the Cybertruck, and then everyone realized he's an absolute idiot. And what's good about this one is the people who realized he was an idiot up till now were like, well, software engineers. Okay, that's quite a lot of people, but it's a small group and they're not usually that politically active. And then mechanical engineers and astronomers and astrologists and Not astrologists, astronomers, and people who design rockets, and they're all kind of like specific, nerdy, small groups and stuff. And then obviously, then he started talking about politics, and all the feminists hate him, and all the LGBT rights activists hate him. But we're already marginalized groups. But now he's like revealing himself to his core demographic, which is like idiot teenage boys. no, no offense. But I'm sure lots of people who play all these games that he's claiming to be good at are not that demographic. But the gamers TM as a group now know that he is a fraud, and they must be one of his groups that he's most trying to appeal to. So it's just so embarrassing. And yeah, and then like people are saying in chat, once you realize that he's a bit of a fraud, and then you do a bit of research, it's like, oh, he didn't found PayPal. In fact, he was terrible at PayPal and seemed to be a bit of a leech and didn't really do anything. And oh, he didn't found SpaceX. He just bought it. Oh, and he didn't found Tesla. He just bought it. And he just buys loads of publicity and gets rich leeching off other people. And now it's the same thing here. He hasn't played this game. He just bought someone's character. It's just so embarrassing. Like, I can see buying into a business because that makes you money and you can still be in charge of it and you can still claim to have influence over it. And maybe he has had some positive influence over some of these businesses. But I don't know, it's just buying a computer game character. It's just so embarrassing. Like, really? Isn't the whole point that you're meant to, like, get good at a game and enjoy doing it? It's just like buying someone's gold medal after they win a race. It's like, it's just so embarrassing. How do people end up like that, and how are people still falling for it? I mean, obviously, all of the like right-wing wackos love him at the moment, or lots of them love him at the moment because he's providing them loads of money and influence, but they can't like him. I mean, not anyone who's paying attention. Yeah, just a truly weird situation where one of the most embarrassing, pathetic, and like rubbish people on Earth just happens to be the most famous, richest person on Earth. I mean, maybe that always happens, but yeah. Someone saying, no, Katie, the only point in gaming is to be able to talk about how great you are at games. I think people are like that, but I think the people who are like that are usually like 14, not like 60 or however old how old is Elon Musk? $53. 53. Okay. I did think he was older. He looks older. Anyway. So that was all a bit embarrassing. Bit of a tangent. It's only tangentially related to LGBT rights. But that's just because most LGBT people realised that he was a fraud a while ago. Actually, I did a cartoon about this earlier. Let's crack out the cartoon. On Blue Sky, which you should be on in order to help organise trans rights. But also because you could follow my cartoons account, which is rubbish. So here was my shit cartoon on this very topic. So there's a gamer saying, wow, I can't believe Elon Musk knows nothing about video games. He must have been lying this whole time. Oh well, at least he knows about cars, rockets, software, and politics. And then the mechanic and engineer's like, wow, I can't believe Elon Musk knows nothing about cars and rockets. He must have been lying this whole time. Oh well, at least he knows about video games, software, and politics, etc., etc. But then here we've got the trans person just being like he's an idiot and a fraud. And I do think that, particularly of these like right-wing grifter types, the trans community, TM, does seem to be onto these people much quicker than everyone else. And it's because one of the first things you do in 2025 or for the last 10 years, if you want to start up the grift train and you want to like cover over your sexual assault allegations, or you want to cover over your fraud scandal or something like that, or when you offered to pay for sex by buying your own employee a horse or whatever, when one of those things starts coming into the media, one of the best things you can do is start hating on trans people, because you will get instant political backing from the entire right wing. We have like no platform, no voice at all. We can't fight back. We're an easy target. There's like centuries of prejudice against us that you can just nicely latch on to. And you can just treat us as subhuman and not even the centrists care. So as soon as someone starts being really horrible to trans people, we've just seen it 100 times before. Oh, it comes out, or they say they just have concerns about trans people, they put their foot in the water, or they jump straight in and say something inflammatory about trans people in order to deflect from their sexual assault allegations or whatever. And then they do the same grifter train. Everyone's like, oh no, they just have a different point of view. Why aren't you listening to them? It's just a middle-aged moment. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And then they slowly spiral, or sometimes quite quickly, get to the point where they're like, Graham Linehan, Elon Musk, J.K. Rowling, like, it's just the same slippery slope nonsense every single time. Very embarrassing. There's a is it Cassandra of Troy? Is it of Troy? Yes. So Cassandra, in Greek mythology, was a Trojan priestess dedicated to the god Apollo and fated by him to utter true prophecies but never to be believed. In modern usage, her name is employed as a rhetorical device to indicate a person whose accurate prophecies, generally of impending disaster, are not believed. And that's like the trans community. When someone starts following all the gender criticals or starts donating to anti-trans MAGA stuff or something, this isn't just them being a centrist with one wrong opinion. It's like the tip of the iceberg of us revealing that, finding out over the next decade that they're just a shit person around. And Elon Musk is an example of that. And we are an example of flagging him as someone who is an idiot quite early on. Anyway, let's move on to the first thing I actually planned to talk about. Now let's just see what everyone's saying here. Okay, yeah, we're just chatting. So J.K. Rowling didn't do anything with the horse. Don't sue me, J.K. Rowling. I do not know whether J.K. Rowling has done anything with a horse in her life or not. There was some story about Elon Musk, horse, something like that. Here we go. Let's get this up. Let's get back to a reasonable zoom. Come on, Windows. SpaceX flight attendant said Elon Musk exposed himself and positioned for her sex. Documents show the company paid for her silence. Is this the one? The billionaire founder exposed his penis to her and offered to buy her a horse. The attendant worked as a member of the cabin crew on a contract basis for SpaceX corporate jet fleet. She accused Musk of exposing his erect penis to her, rubbing her leg without consent, and offering to buy her a horse in exchange for an erotic massage. Fucking hell, that's just so grim. I wasn't laughing at the horrible sexual harassment. I was laughing at the just ludicrous situation where you're so rich that you're like, no, don't tell everyone that I'd sexually harassed you. I'll buy you a horse.